Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Tian and I'm an aspiring software developer. This video will be relatively a fast one comparing to my normal videos. It's a video where I wanted to show you guys how to set up your Ionic app and introduce you guys with some of the Ionic app template that could be the foundations to your app. For me, when I am working on an Ionic app project, I usually would just create a blank app and just build my way up. However, I understand that some of you guys might be interested in just developing a tab, sort of like app interface where you have different tabs that represent different pages or module that you or your user might want to navigate to. So this video will also introduce that kind of area. Firstly, like I've mentioned in the last video of the Ionic app series, I would recommend that before you start working on your Ionic app that you have downloaded Ionic, Angular, TypeScript and all that stuff, and it has been downloaded successfully, and that you guys have the latest recommended version for you to work on your Ionic app. Like in the last video, to check the current version and to know that you have downloaded successfully, open up your terminal, or you can even do this in your VS Code IDE. Just open up an integrated terminal by clicking on your project. Ignore this project at the moment over here. I'll show you guys how to set it up. Right now, I just want to show you guys how to open up a terminal. So just right click on that and click onto the integrated terminal. Well, for me, I have my terminal set up right here. To check that you've downloaded Ionic, Angular, or Node successfully, type in the following command in your terminal. So to check for Ionic, you can do Ionic version and wait until it runs, and have 5.4.16 at the time of recording this video. You can always, update your Ionic CLI, but at the moment I'm comfortable with using 5.4.16, but you can always update it into the latest versions. And to check for your Angular, I've downloaded Angular and Node. Cool. So like I've mentioned in the last video, TypeScript comes with Angular and Angular comes with Ionic. So installing TypeScript or Angular might not be needed or necessary. So as long as you have downloaded Ionic successfully, that means that you have downloaded Angular and TypeScript successfully as well. And the only way to download Ionic, as far as I know of, that works perfectly on my computer will be through Node.js, which I have walked you guys through in the last video. If you guys still need a little bit of help, you guys can always check my last video. Now that I know that I've downloaded Angular and Ionic successfully, to create a brand new Ionic app, you just have to navigate. So in your desktop or wherever you have set up your logical folder, which I've recommended in the first few videos, navigate to that specific folder where you want your Ionic app to be, and just type in the following command. You can do this on your terminal, your main terminal, and after you have done in your main terminal, this is the main command on how you can create your Ionic app. So you are saying create an Ionic app. Start means creating the app itself. App name is customizable, so whatever you want to name your app. In this case, I have named it new app in my Ionic app series folder, and blank. Blank here is a blank app template that I've mentioned earlier. You can always check the documentation on which template will be the most suitable for your project. Now to check for the current template that Ionic currently have, you can go to this website, ionicframework.com, and go to this specific website, scroll down, and so my series is Ionic Angular, and so these are all of the Ionic Angular template that they have. You have tabs, which is like I've mentioned earlier, which has the tab interface where you or your user can navigate to the different pages or module that you want. It also have blank, which is my favorite template because I can always build upon the blank template. I can build multiple pages. I can build a page for my Ionic storage or service, or even a map or a chart, which I'll show you guys how to make a workable map that uses the Google JavaScript API in your app, and also how to make different charts. Those two videos will come in season 2, so stay tuned for that. But getting back to this, there will also be side menu, super, all of these starting templates is up to you. And all you have to do is to, like I said, navigate to the directory or folder that you have and type in this command and just change the word blank into tabs or whatever you want. So once you have decided on what template to use and where to install your app and where to place your app in your directory or folder, you would have to wait around a few minutes for it to be configured. One thing to note that each project or each Ionic app that you create in your folder will take up a lot of space. It might be 1 or 2 gigabytes. So it is super important where if your computer is not able to support that many projects, it is super important for you to understand that you can watch my videos or watch other people's videos on Ionic app development and to incorporate all of the topics that my video or other people's video will discuss within one app, which is what I'm doing for this series. I'm creating this app for this episode, and the following episode's topic will be built based upon this app so that my Ionic projects will not take up a lot of space or storage on my computer. After you've waited for a few minutes, you will then be able to open up your VS Code or whatever IDE that you're working on, and just to open up where you have placed your app. So you see how if I hover the mouse over to the new app, you can see where I've placed my app. So I placed it in desktop, YouTube programming series, environment, Ionic app series, and then another Ionic app series, and then there's my app. So I opened up the Ionic app series, the second one, which I can't really point, but it was right there. Let's see, it was right there. And to open it up on my IDE. Now, see, I selected the new app, which is my exact app. If you select the folder or the directory, it would not work. You just have to select the specific app that you have built. Right click on it and open it in the integrated terminal, which if your IDE does not have the integrated terminal, you can then do this within your computer's main terminal. So you just have to navigate to the folder and the specific app that you have selected, that you have built, not selected, but built. And to open it up, I'm assuming you can right click on your app and to open up a terminal, and then you can run your app like this. So run your app with this command in your terminal. You can either do Ionic serve or Ionic serve lab. This command right here is Ionic lab. You can do this, but it will run as like a web app. So it will be like in a browser instead of like a phone, which I'll show you. So if you say Ionic serve, this will take about a minute or two. It depends on the speed of your computer. But every time when I run, it takes a long time, especially if I build, or if you build a larger project like I did for one of my university courses, where it required me to build like it's not a massive project, but it was still large for an Ionic app. And every time when I run my Ionic app, it would take a while to run on the browser. So I'll speed forward the running process, and I'll show you what I mean in a bit. Cool. So this is your app as a browser-based app, which is a bit different, as you can see, but would still work. Anything that you have built in your app will be shown here. In the next video, I'll show you guys how to start working on your app and start making lists, very basic things. And when you run your app on your default browser, it will be run like this. Now I can always close it and quit the process. Now with the Ionic Serve Lab, like the Ionic Lab. If this is your first time running the Ionic Lab, they will ask you to install like in the terminal. You will come across a question that says something like, this is your first time running Ionic Lab on the terminal. Do you want to install it? Installing it means you're installing the Ionic Lab, and just press Y on your keyboard and press enter, and it will be automatically installed for you. Trust me on that one. It's not virus or anything. It's just installing the Ionic Lab. But since this is not my first time running this app, like I've tested before shooting this video, and so there was no question. But there was no this is your first time running the app type of question. So yeah. Now, as you can see here, this is the Ionic Lab, like I've mentioned. You can always change the icon here, but I don't want to, so I'll just leave it like that. This is your Ionic app on an iPhone. The cool thing about Ionic Lab is you can open it up on Android or Windows, and you can test your projects or your app on different operating systems, which I think is a pretty cool feature for Ionic development. You can also further, if you go inspect, if you open up the inspect one, you can change from like if I were to only work on iOS, then you can change, the different mobile size. You can even have it as a tablet or a laptop, or it's just another cool feature. You can also do multiple different operating systems like an iPad. I haven't used this feature yet, but let's see what that. Oh, you can even do like an emulated device. So a series of different devices on here. I haven't done that yet, but custom location as well. Okay, cool. So see, I'm learning at the same time as I'm showing you guys. So we both learn together. Pretty cool. Anyhow, before I get distracted again. You can always refer back to the Ionic framework documentation. So, they have various different methods and different ways for you to work through your app and to develop and come up with new app ideas, new innovative ideas that could, make a mark onto this world. Another cool feature for Ionic development is if you're using Angular and Ionic at the same time, there are a series of different UI components that you can incorporate. I haven't used all of them. I've used Mojo before. Mojo is a cool component where that page will stay hidden until you or your user press upon it. And it's like a cool feature where if you have a settings page where your user can go in there and change their username or password, Mojo would be a place where that could happen. I've also used Toggle. Tabs, I've used it. I've just built tabs upon tabs based on my blank template. Routing is a good place for you to navigate to other pages. Search, I've used search bar before. I've used it in a way that I have, my Ionic storage, and I've told the app to search up, a certain username or a certain item in my stored list using the search bar, and it's a pretty cool feature. I've also used Ionic icon. You can just Google Ion icons, and you have a series of different icons for you to use. The GitHub one, the JavaScript logo, HTML5, Facebook, the Apple App Store, the Apple one, Amazon, Behance. So there's a lot of different features for you to look at and to investigate and to incorporate them into your app, to make it look more user friendly. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys learned a thing or two in this video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And I can't wait to begin the app development series with you guys. Until the next video, stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you then. Before I end this video, I also want to say that for my GitHub link, there will be a link in the description for every single video. the Ionic app series, even though I will be constructing all of the following videos within one app. Like every time when I finish filming a video, all of the work and the process and the progress that I've made in that specific app, in that specific Ionic app development video, will be posted into my GitHub, so that every video, every topic that I've covered will have a different folder. So, for example, this is episode 8 of my season 1, which is the second video for the Ionic app development. The app that I have created will be posted in like a single directory for GitHub. The subsequent video for the Ionic app development series will have its own directory so that it's more convenient for you guys. If you guys want to install and run it on, locally, it will be super convenient for you guys. That's my belief. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. And until the next one, stay safe, everybody. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.